So we are starting with mechanical measurement and control. I already explained you the basics of mechanical measurement and control. So we are elaborating on that basics. Okay, I'll just show you the slide where we ended. Okay, last time, and I'll also show you the syllabus part, what we have covered till now. Okay, so if you just look at this part of syllabus, yeah, if you look at this part of syllabus, one second, give me a second. Why is it not working? Yeah. If you look at this syllabus part, why does it happen? So sorry. My system is getting slow day by day. So sorry. So sorry. Just give me a second. Yeah. There were 3 parts in our syllabus. If we can see here, there are 3 parts in our syllabus. First, let me stop your annotation because people do annotation. Okay. One thing. So when we see the syllabus, what we have actually covered till now is, just take a color that can be visible here. What we have covered till now is we are actually into point 1.2 of our syllabus, which is static measurement. We know about static calibration. We have studied linearity. We have studied sensitivity, which is called as static sensitivity. We have studied accuracy, error, which is also called as static error. Then precision, reproducibility is remaining, threshold, resolution, hysteresis, drift, span and range. So what is remaining from our side is we need to study reproducibility. You might see that there is no name such as repeatability, because I already stated you repeatability is nothing but another name for precision. Okay, you'll get to know when I'll just take this topic just after I complete this slide. So what you have to do today is we will study one more characteristics, which is repeatability. Okay, and we will try to compare it with reproducibility, and we will try to know what do you mean by reproducibility also, and how is it different from repeatability or precision. Okay, the next thing that we will do, we already know what is the significance of mechanical measurement. We will try to classify the measuring instrument, and we will also go and classify about generalized. I'll बाद में दरवाजा बंद कर दोगे. 1 second. 1 second. It was my mom with the food, but I have told her that I have to delay the food. Okay. So this is all about generalized measurement system. So 3 things that we will cover today is we will cover about repeatability and reproducibility. Then we will study what are the different types of measuring instruments and how do we classify them. And we will study about generalized measurement system. Okay. If everyone is okay with it, we will proceed. Okay. So now, what do you mean by repeatability and reproducibility? I'll just explain you. See, repeatability. It is, if you just go through this thing, it is the measurement, okay, which is carried out many a times. Repeatability is more like precision. If you remember precision, what do? You take a group of reading, okay? You take a group of reading. So it is similar to precision. The measurement is carried out many times using same set of internal as well as external condition. मतलब if you take readings many a times, okay, and you don't change the condition like internal condition or external condition. If you don't change the internal and external condition, 1 second. If you don't change the internal and external condition, if you keep the internal external condition constant, and if you keep on taking the reading, such a system of reading is called as repeatability. Okay, and about reproducibility, the measurement is carried out many a times using different set of internal condition and external condition. Okay, when you change the internal and external condition of the setup or of your condition or of your surrounding, internal will be relevant to your measuring instrument, external will be relevant to your surrounding. If you change that set of conditions, internal as well as external condition, then such a reading is called as reproducible reading. And if you don't change it, if you keep it constant and keep on taking readings and readings and readings, many readings, it is called as repeatability, or it is also called as precision. I hope everyone is getting. Just put it in the chat box if you are getting what I'm trying to explain. Repeatability and reproducibility. In which do you change the condition? In repeatability, do you change the condition or you not change the condition? Just put it in the chat box. Do you change the condition in repeatability or not? We don't change the condition. Anas has responded. Anyone else? We don't change. And in reproducibility, do we change the condition? In reproducibility, yeah, yes, we change the condition in reproducibility. So first and foremost thing for us to know is we change the condition in reproducibility and we don't change the condition in repeatability. Okay, now next thing. Now just look, I'll just make this visible. Okay, and I'll just take the annotation so it becomes easier for me to explain. Okay, now the next point. Internal conditions might be you are changing the laboratory condition. Matlab, suppose there is a lab in Kalsekar, there is a lab in IIT. You take one condition in Kalsekar lab and you take another condition in, you take another reading in IIT lab. You are changing the internal condition, like you are also changing the external condition by changing the lab. But if you are changing the laboratory, that means that you are changing the internal condition. Okay, then you are also changing the apparatus. When you are changing lab from one college to another college, you might also change the mode of operation. Like there might be an instrument which is digital, or there might be an instrument which is manual, like you have to read the reading. Like in vernier caliper, what do you do in vernier caliper? You read by your eyes, okay? And you might make some error, okay, while reading the readings, or there might be some instrument frictional error in that jaw of the vernier caliper. If there is some frictional error, then you might get some error in the reading. Similarly might be for digital. The digital instrument might not be that much calibrated, so you might get some kind of error in that. So internal condition mein there might be change in laboratory, there might be change in apparatus, there might be change in mode of operation like digital and manual. So this all conditions are kept same. When you keep the conditions same, I hope you're getting, I gave you some example like Kalsekar College and IIT. Okay? So if you keep the condition same, like if you do everything in Kalsekar, if you keep the condition same, then such a reading will be called as repeatable reading. Now, if you change the condition, like if you change the lab, apparatus, mode of operation, okay, if you alter to get the optimum result, then what do you get it as? The reading is called as reproducible reading. So if you're changing your lab from Panvel Kalsekar College to IIT, what do we call it as? Do we call it as repeatability or we call it as reproducibility? Just let me know. If you're changing the lab from AIKTC or going to IIT, will it be called as a reproducible reading or repeatable reading? Will it be reproducible or repeatable? Very nice. Yeah, Anas, only Anas is responding. I want everyone of you to respond. It will be reproducible or repeatable? Reproducible. Which one will be more correct? If you want to be more accurate, see, if precision is hitting the target, then it is accurate. But if it is not hitting the target, then it is not accurate. But whenever we do precise reading, we always want to hit the target. We never want it to miss the target. So basically, when we consider precision, we will consider that all the readings are near about hitting the target. So I would like to know from you, which one will be more appropriate? Which one will give you good results? Reproducibility or repeatability? Which one will give you more results? Yeah. I'd like to read it from you. Which one will give you better results? Repeatable reading or reproducible reading? Okay, very nice. So I've got the answer that repeatable will give less results as compared to reproducible, which will give more accurate results. Now we'll go to the next condition, external conditions. I've already told the external conditions might be kept same. And if we change the external conditions, we might get different readings. So we change the external condition while we do reproducible kind of thing. Now results obtained in this are weak and less reliable. I hope you're getting. We can't rely on the results of repeatability. If we want to see how much is the instrument calibrated, we might take 10 readings. Okay? If we take the readings in repeatable environment, and if we take the readings in reproducible environment, we will rely more on the readings of reproducible environment because we are changing the conditions. If we are changing the condition, then we might get a reading which is reliable and insensitive to variation because we are making the system variate. So if the reading is insensitive to variation, that reading will be more reliable. Okay. Now one more thing. It might be that repeatable is highly precise, but it will be less accurate. When it comes to reproducible, you know that it might be that it is less precise, but it will be highly accurate in regard to the readings that you are going to conduct in the lab. Okay. Okay. If anyone is having any doubt, they can raise their doubt right now. I will help you in the chat box. Okay. I hope you understood. So we have already completed all the types of static characteristics that are there in our instruments. I would like to listen. I don't know. I won't like to listen because I don't get that much response from the students. Only 23 have joined till now. So I don't bother about asking right now. I'll ask at the end for with the students, those who are willing to answer. So we will get to the next. Now, measuring instruments. Before classifying instruments, we will like to put ourselves into customer shoes. Before starting with this, what I'll try to get from you is, I'll just ask you one thing. I'll just inform you one thing. You have heard about protector. What does a protector do? It measures angle. And in which accuracy it can measure angle up to degree and minutes. Why I'm saying it can measure angle up to degree and minutes? Because you get 35.5. So you know that this 5 is nothing but 30 minutes. I hope you're getting. Okay. So protector does what? Protector measures the angle, and this angle is measured in degree and minutes. Now I will introduce to you one more type of protector, which is called as bevel angle protector. Okay. Bevel angle protector. It is used to measure the angle in degree, minutes, and also seconds. Like if I want to measure angle 35.52, okay, 35.52, if my value is 35.52, so if I want to measure this angle, I know that I can't get up to 0.02 in normal protector. I won't be getting 0.02. I will be only getting up to 35.5. This 0.02 will be my like ये 5 के बीच में 6 के बीच में कितना नजदीक है, तो we try to assume that it is 0.02 more. Okay, we make that assumption, but generally we don't make assumption. We just take 35.5. So if the reading is like 35.52, so this is in degree, minutes, and seconds. Okay, so the reading will be like 35 degree. Suppose 60 minutes. Sorry, 60. 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. Okay, so 30 minutes. Okay, and suppose again 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Okay, so it will be like, suppose karo 10 seconds. I'm just assuming this is my reading. So I might not get this reading. I might not get this reading from the protector, but if I want to get this reading, I will use which kind of measurement instrument, which is called as bevel angle protector. I hope you're getting. This is used to measure readings when we want answers up to seconds, and we want more precise answers. I hope you're getting. When we want more precise, more accurate answers, we will go for bevel angle protector. Okay. Just like to see the chat. Some people have responded in the chat. Just give me a second. There is some chat. Angle. Okay, very nice. Protector is used to measure angle. Thank you so much for responding. Now, I would like you to put yourself into customer shoes and tell me, what will you prefer out of these two? See, one is, just give me a second. The first one is, 1 second. Yeah, the first one is bevel, mechanical bevel protector. This will measure angle in degree, minutes, and second. Okay. Now the second one is digital bevel protector. This will also measure angle in degree, minutes, second. Now can you say which one will you prefer, and why will you prefer that? Just put it in the chat box. Yes. You will prefer digital. Very nice. Why do you want to prefer digital? Why do you want to prefer digital? Both will be that much accurate only. Both will give degree, minutes, and seconds. So why do you want to prefer digital? Why it will show less error? Don't you trust your eyes? Don't you trust your eyes? Easy to use, okay, but don't you trust your eyes? If I say that mechanical bevel protector is easy to use, then both will give reading in degree, minutes, and seconds. So how can you say that I will prefer digital bevel protector? It is convenient. Okay. Anything else? I would use it because it will not make human error. First thing, this will use mechanical linkages. Who is this person? This will use mechanical linkages. You can see there are many linkages here. Okay. Now, this is mechanical based instrument. This is mechanical instrument. I hope you're getting. This is a mechanical instrument. There is a scale, there is a lever, there is many gears you can see, there is a round scale also. So this is a mechanical instrument, and this is an electronic instrument. Okay. This is an electronic instrument. So since the reason that you will prefer mechanical, electronic over electrical is digital over mechanical is because digital is an electronic instrument and you rely on the electronic instrument because there will not be any losses. Like if you want to take the reading, there if there is some friction issue in this okay, in this lever or in this segment, if there in this scale, if there is some friction error or there is some drift, you might not be able to find the accurate reading here. But here, if you calibrate it properly, you'll get the correct reading. Okay, I hope you're getting. So your preference will be based on the type of instrument, not it is convenient or not convenient. Actually, you are going to prefer the type of instrument, and one which will give you more convenience, you will prefer that. Just let me see. Some people have responded in the chat. Yeah, digital for perfect reading. Why perfect? Because it is electronic. Now I will ask you for another. Okay, you can see both electrical ammeter and digital multimeter. Suppose it is used for the purpose, multimeter is used for which purpose? Multimeter is used for three purposes. You can measure voltage, yeah, you can measure current, you can measure resistance. Forget about all these things. Suppose it is used only for measuring of current, just like ammeter. So if you want to measure current from both the devices, which one will you prefer and why? Put it in the chat box. Which one will you prefer out of the two? Electrical ammeter or digital multimeter? Yeah, digital one. Why? Because there is a needle. You can see, I'll just put an annotation for you. Here there will be a pointer and you rely on mechanical setup. This is a linkage, na? This is a linkage. I hope you're getting. So if there is a linkage, parallax error, everything will be there. That is also right, but you see there is a linkage. Okay. And if there is a linkage, automatically you know there might be some friction. Okay. And if there is some friction, there is also like, you know that there is something called as this zero offset error. You might get some offset error also. So to calibrate this is very difficult. Okay. If you want to calibrate this, it will be difficult. To calibrate this is relatively simpler. Okay, it is relatively simple for us. So what will you prefer? You will prefer digital because it will not have many error. Digital because ammeters have a needle, so it may lead to human error. It may even lead to frictional error, due to which you like the input is coming more and the output is not getting displayed because there is friction in the needle. Okay, very nice. So nice of you of responding. Very nice. Many different people are responding. So based on these things, mechanical you have seen electronic, you have seen electrical, you have seen everything in this page. Okay, so now what we will do, we will try to, I'll just move forward now. Based on the functionality, yeah, based on the functionality, I will like to classify my instruments. Okay, so first is mechanical based on the functionality, that is it is having linkages, it is having gears, it might have friction. Okay, it is manual. Then electronic, you will prefer electronic and you will prefer electrical, but you will prefer electronic more, and this is called as tertiary, this is called as secondary. Can anyone tell me why do you prefer electronic over digital? Sorry, electronic over electrical. Why do you prefer electronic instrument over an electrical instrument? Why would you prefer electronic over electrical? Yeah. Why would you prefer electronic over electrical? Anyone? To get accurate, these are all very silly answers. I need answers which are more accurate. Why would you prefer electronic over electrical? What advantage do you get over electronic? What advantage will you get over electronic? Just let me know. Yeah. Guys, what advantage will you get over electronic, which you won't have over electrical? Let me know. No answer? Okay, I'll give you a hint. Electronic devices are portable. Electrical is also portable better. Now, which one is faster? Electron flow is faster? Electron flow is faster, or if I want to say you, electronics means there is flow of electrons, right? And in this, there will be some kind of resistance. If you are resistance, capacitance, inductance, this systems you will use in electrical. Okay, so which one is faster, electronic or electrical? Which one is faster? Electronics will be faster. So based on the response time, you are getting less time. Okay, you are getting the response in less time. Based on that, you will prefer electronic. Okay, so based on the response time, we can classify this types of instrument as primary, secondary, and tertiary. Okay, so if you see primary, it will take more time to respond. It will take less time as compared to mechanical, and it will take very less time as compared to electrical and mechanical, because in this there will be flow of electron, and it is basically a semiconductor device. Okay, electronics are more of semiconductor devices. Okay, so you prefer electronic instruments, you prefer electronic gadgets. Okay, this is not an electrical gadget, this is an electronic gadget. Okay, the calculator that we use. So this is called as tertiary instruments. So primary instruments are taking more time, secondary instruments are taking medium time, and electronic instruments, the tertiary instruments are taking very less time. Are semiconductors, very nice, they operate at very low voltage, so nice, and due to low voltage application they respond very fast. Okay, now we will go to the next slide. Now we will continue with this thing. Yeah, I'll just put everything for you in front of you, and I would like to explain you some things with regard to this. Now mechanical are rigid, heavy, bulky, and hence they have large mass. I hope you're getting. Whenever there is mass, there will be inertia issue. Okay, whenever there is mass, matlab if there is mass, there will be lot of inertia, and if there is lot of inertia, it will be more susceptible to fail in dynamic measurement. If there is mass, this is my mass, so I possess some weight, and that weight consideration is called as inertia. Okay, so if there is mass, there is more chances for that instrument to fail at high speeds. Suppose I want to measure the speed of shaft. Okay, and if I use a mechanical system like for measuring velocity of the shaft, there are various kinds of this instruments. So if I use hand speed tachometer, I think everyone of you might have seen Swades. Has everyone seen Swades? Swades mein there was a time in the film where he was using hand speed tachometer to uh, to see the speed of that shaft. Yeah, so in those kind of things, what will happen? In those kind of things, the chances are it will be more prone to failure. Why it will be more prone to failure? Because it will be bulky. The system will be bulky, or even your setup can be bulky. Okay, so if your system is bulky or your setup is bulky and it is having inertia, there are more chances that it will fail in dynamic measurement. And it is not very reliable. Yeah, it is reliable under static and stable condition. Yeah, if it is the condition is static, then you can rely on mechanical. Otherwise, you won't rely much on mechanical instrument. Now, when you go to electrical, you know it will give faster output as compared to mechanical, right? But the disadvantage of using electrical, it will also use linkages. It is not digital, so it will use linkages. So it will be good as compared to mechanical, but it won't be that much good. Why? Because that will be having linkages. So in Swades, what you saw was a hand speed tachometer, which was calibrating something. Okay, which was calibrating something. So it is more like an electrical instrument if you are using linkages. Okay, if you are using linkages like in ammeter, you are using that pointer, so that will give you a response fast as compared to mechanical, but you can't rely on the accuracy because there might be friction issue in the linkages. Okay, so accuracy depends upon the mechanical meter movement as an indicator device, more like the linkage. The pointer, accuracy depends upon the pointer. Now, the pointer also possesses inertia. Okay, so if it possesses inertia, it will be prone to poor frequency response. It won't take the signal as effectively as it should have taken. Okay, so due to the presence of linkages or mechanical meter or movement of mechanical kind of a thing, the response to frequency will be poor. Okay, when we go to the third type, electronic, we know that they are fast because they use semiconductor devices, and one student has added that their voltage is also low, right? Now it has movement of electrons. So if there is movement of electron, the inertia problem will be not there. There will not be any inertia problem. Now weak signals can also be detected if we can use amplifier. So if you have studied industrial electronics, you know what does an amplifier does. It detects the weakest signal and it tries to amplify so that we can see that weakest signal as an output. Okay, so it is fast, it uses semiconductor, it has flow of electrons, so it is not having an inertia, and it is also detecting weak signal due to the presence of preamplifier and amplifier. I hope everyone understood. Is everyone okay with this? I'd like to unmute you people, and I would like to hear the response from the whole class. If you are able to classify mechanical, electrical, and electronic, just respond it via your voice. Everyone, respond it through your voice. I have unmuted you. Everyone, yeah,
Yes, sir.
very nice. Anyone else? Are you okay with this? Which one will be better? Electrical, mechanical, or electronic?
Electronic.
Very nice, very nice. So we can proceed with this. We won't waste much time. This comes in exam for 10 marks. So if it comes in exam for 10 marks, explain with it. Explain this thing with an example also. Now we are going to the next part. Very important, very important, very important. Trust me, this video is very important. If you understand this thing, you can classify any instrument. Suppose I am using this board for my recording. Okay, so now this is nothing, it is nothing instrument. Okay, so if this is a measuring instrument, I should know how this measuring instrument works. What does it do? It listens to my voice and it gives back into the system, and it even, I can even receive the signal from you. Okay, so if I want to classify anything, if I want to classify calculator, if I want to classify this measuring instrument, any measuring instrument, so I should know one type of classification which is known as generalized measurement system. So before starting, what I'll do is I will mute every one of you. Please keep yourself muted. Listen to this video very, very, very carefully. Okay.
Generalized measurement systems. At the end of this lecture, we will be able to define measurement, describe the importance of measurement, explain the structure of the measurement system. An act or process of measuring any entity is known as measurement. Is measurement really important in our life? Come on, let us explore the answer. We use various electrical appliances at our home. The power consumption is measured and monitored by the energy meter. The kid is feeling sick. What is the first thing that her mother will do? She measures the body temperature using a thermometer and later takes her child to the doctor. While traveling, the fuel meter in her car indicates that the car is running out of fuel. They reach a fuel station to fill fuel. While filling fuel, there is a meter to ensure that the required amount of fuel is filled in the vehicle. While pumping air into the car tire, there is a meter to monitor the air pressure. To monitor the speed, there is a speedometer in the car. It is only the measurement of any variable or entity that helps us to make or break control over that entity. Without measurement, control is not possible.
I hope this much part is clear. The next part that is coming is very important. I have explained you one of the type like bevel protector. I will also explain you one more. Bourdon tube. Bourdon tube is used to measure pressure. How does it work? One side is open to atmospheric pressure, another side is closed. When the pressure acts from one side, suppose there is an air coming out, the other side will inflate. Okay, it will try to inflate, or it will try to change its shape. When the second side, which is closed, changes its shape, it is connected to a needle. Whenever the pressure is coming from one side, and if this side changes shape, the needle will move. Based on the needle movement, you will be able to find the pressure value. I hope everyone understood what I was trying to explain for Bourdon tube. Now I will again explain Bourdon tube. There is a tube. Okay, one side is open to pressure, another side is fixed. The fixed side is attached to a needle. The pressure comes from one side. When the pressure comes from one side, the other side, the Bourdon tube, inflates. When it inflates, the needle moves. Okay, and when the needle moves, you are able to measure the pressure and calibrate in terms of the atmospheric pressure. Okay, that needle value is calibrated in terms of the atmospheric pressure. If you have understood, just let me know in the chat box so that I can proceed. Let me know. Just let me know in the chat box if you understood the function of Bourdon tube. It takes pressure from one side and the second side inflates, and due to that we are able to see the needle movement, and when the needle moves we can calibrate that value, right? Okay, okay, thank you so much. We'll just start with this video again. We are going for very serious thing, which is generalized measurement system. Just listen to this very carefully.
Hence, measurement is very important in our day-to-day life. For an effective measurement of any quantity or variable, we need a well-organized and structured system. Such a system is known as measurement system. Let us explore how the general measurement system is operated. An instrument or device used for measurement has a structured system. The prime elements of a measurement system are primary sensing element, variable conversion element, variable manipulation element, data transmission element, data presentation element. These elements are arranged in such a way.
1 second, I would like to interrupt. Primary sensing element is like a sensor. It is like a sensor. Sensor is also called as a detector. So always remember, these terms are very difficult, but if you want to remember, primary sensing element will be a sensor. It is also called as a detector. Second term that is mentioned in this video is variable conversion element. I already told you yesterday, an instrument which converts one form of signal to another form of signal is called as, can anyone reply in the chat box? An instrument which converts one form of signal to another form of signal is called as, yeah, converts one form of, very nice, transducer. Who has responded? Yeah, Bilal, very nice, Bilal, Asgar, Tavish, very nice. So variable conversion, matlab I'll get some sensor will sense, transducer will convert it into the form which is required. Variable manipulation and data transmission. I would like to explain you variable manipulation. Suppose this is my Bourdon tube, okay? This is my Bourdon tube. The pressure is coming from one side, and the pressure, this is inflating the other side. It is connected to a needle. It is connected to a needle. Now, whenever it inflates, the pressure comes from this side, and this Bourdon tube inflates. It grows in size. So this is called as manipulation. I hope you're getting. This is called as manipulation. Okay. Data transmission. Now this data is transmitted. This inflation of the tube, Bourdon tube, is transmitted via that needle. So that will be called as transmission element. Okay. So something will be manipulation element, which will manipulate, which will grow in size, and that will transmit with the help of a needle and also gear arrangement. Since that, suppose the pressure is very less and the tube inflates very minutely. Since this inflation of tube is very minute, I want the signal to be magnified. I actually want the signal to be magnified. So if I want the signal to be magnified, I will use some gear kind of an arrangement, so that even if the needle is to be moved by a minute, it will move by a large distance due to the gear and pinion arrangement. Okay, I hope you're getting. So that data transmission element is nothing but the needle and the gear and pinion arrangement that I'm using to magnify my signal. Okay, to magnify my weak signal into a larger value which can be seen, and that same value will be calibrated. Matlab, if it is 1 atmosphere, if the value is getting the difference, the needle is moving by a large distance, that doesn't mean that the input will show us some different value of measurement. It will show the same value of measurement after it is calibrated. Okay. And thus finally is data presentation element, the place where you see. Like computer, if you're seeing some signal on the computer, like right now you are seeing me on your screen. You are seeing me as a professor on your screen. So I am nothing but a presenter for you. So I am nothing but I am presenting the data for you. So that is called as data presentation element. So I would like to know from you primary sensing element. I would unmute every one of you, and I would like to know in chorus from you, primary sensing element will be called as what? Short form, primary sensing element will be
Detector.
detector or sensor.
Detector.
Conversion element will be variable conversion element.
Transducer.
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 Manipulation element. Very nice. Manipulation. Something which is manipulating the signal. It is also called as signal conditioner. It is also called as
Signal conditioner.
it is conditioning the signal. what happens? Data transmission will be there. Okay. Data presentation.
Transmitter.
So this manipulation
Presentation.
and transmission is also called as signal conditioner. They condition your signal. They receive your input and they condition it according to the instrument or the availability of the instrument that they are having. So this data manipulation, variable manipulation and data transmission comes under signal conditioner. And what will be data presentation? It will be data presentation will be your screen. It will be, tell me,
Presenter.
screen, presenter. And what will come under signal conditioner? Repeat it for me. Signal conditioner will have
Manipulation and transmission element.
manipulation. Yes. Manipulation and transmission. What does the manipulator do? It manipulates the signal. Transmitter transmits the signal with the help of linkages and gears. Okay. So, thank you so much. Okay. So, what I'll do is I'll proceed with this video. It was important to stop this.
That the primary sensing element
I'll just put it
makes
back
contact
so that
with
you
the
understand.
system. The prime elements of a measurement system are primary sensing element, variable conversion element, variable manipulation element, data transmission element, data presentation element. These elements are arranged in such a way that the primary sensing element makes contact with the entity to be measured, and the data presentation element gives information to the observer about the quantity measured. It is not necessary that the manipulation element must succeed the conversion element.
It can
It can be
interchange.
placed as per the requirement.
It's okay. Signal
Let us
conditioner.
understand better. We all consume aerated drinks. Can we carbonate the drinks at home? Yes, we can. All we need is a CO2 tank with a regulator. The taste of the drink is enriched by injecting CO2 into the liquid. The pressure gauge is placed to monitor the pressure of the carbon dioxide. Here, the measuring instrument is the pressure gauge. How does the system work? The Bourdon tube acts as both the sensing and the conversion element. Here, the entity to be measured is the pressure. The Bourdon tube senses the pressure. The major function of the variable,
It senses from downward, and that this part at the top part, which is fixed, that will be helping to convert the signal because that will inflate. Okay.
conversion element, is to convert the output of the sensing element to another form. When the pressure is sensed, the closed end of the tube is slightly displaced. Here, the pressure is converted into small displacement. The mechanical linkage connecting the Bourdon tube and the gearing arrangement contributes to the data transmission element. The main function of the transmission element is to transfer the signal from one element to another. The mechanical linkage transfers the displacement from the Bourdon tube to the gearing arrangement. The variable manipulation element manipulates the signal presented to it without changing the nature of the original signal. The gearing mechanism contributes to the manipulation unit. The gearing mechanism amplifies the small displacement so that the pointer rotates through a larger angle. The display devices show the information about the measurement to the observer from the data presentation element. Here, the pointer and the dial arrangement gives an indication of the pressure signal applied to the Bourdon tube. This is how the general measurement system works. Measuring instruments can also be used to establish the control over the input. To have a control over the input, we need a feedback and a reference value. This is known as control stage. If there is no discrepancy between the measured signal and the reference signal, the controller does nothing with the input. If there is a difference between the measured signal and the reference signal, the input is varied to get the desired output. Let us see in detail about the controlling function of a measuring instrument in the next module.
Okay. Just put it in the chat box if you understood. There is also a control system embedded. Control system sees that the output signal and the reference signal, we already give the reference value. If it is okay, it won't change the input. If it is not okay, it will go to the input and it will tell the input. Suppose I am the person who is providing the input, it will tell me that I have to change the input so that my output gets improved. Okay. Okay. Now, last thing, I have drawn this diagram myself. Why I have drawn? It is not for the purpose of showing. Just let me know. Yeah, just let me play this so that I can move to the next slide. How to move to the next slide here? Yeah, block diagram of general measurement system. Just look at this. First will be input. For me, I also call input based on the books that I've used measurand, or the quantity to be measured is called as measurand. Okay, so input is also called as measurand. Next, you can see the primary sensing element. Primary sensing element will be called as what? Detector. You can see at the bottom, detector or sensor. Now, what will be the transducer? Now, primary sensing element will convert the value, that is called as variable conversion element. What do we call it as? You can see at the bottom, it is transducer. Now, what happens? Both these things, data transmission and variable manipulation. Data transmission is done by the needle in the Bourdon tube. Manipulation is done by the gear arrangement in the Bourdon tube. So both this thing come under signal conditioner. You can see at the bottom. So what we started with input. We went to the primary sensing element called as detector and sensor. It goes to variable conversion, which is nothing but transducer. This signal, this transduced signal, the inflation of that Bourdon tube is nothing but that transducer work. It was already stated in the video that Bourdon tube does both the function. It does the function of detecting from one side and it inflates from the another side, which is nothing but transducing, converting one form of signal to another form of signal with the help of linkage. So we are using linkage, that is transmission element. We are using a gear arrangement, which is manipulation element. Both comes under signal conditioner. What does it do? It goes to the data presentation element where the measured value can be seen. Now it will be seen by whom? Observer. But if there is a control, if there is something called as feedback, suppose I have already provided, if the measured value is not 10, I should get the input. I should get something from to myself. I should be able to see that my answer is not correct so that I can change my input without intervening into the system. Like I will not see and intervene. I will automatically get that thing and I will change the value. Okay. So what will happen next is it will controller will see whether the measured value is equal to not. If it is equal to reference signal, you can see reference or calibration value that we have provided. This is both sides. It will work on both sides. Controller and measured value will also work on both sides. If it is equal, like I get a value from measured data presentation to the controller, and if it is okay, it will go back to the data presentation element and it will show us the observed value. I hope you can see. We can see directly the observed value. Now I will do annotation and I will finish the lecture for you. I'll just show you what happens here. I'll get some measured value. This measured value will go to the controller. Okay. Controller will measure it with respect to the reference signal. If it is okay, it will go back, right? And it will be shown to the observer that this is my reading. Okay. But if it is not okay, it will give the input to the user who is providing the input so that we can change the input to get the desired output, right? So input is called as measurand, input signal, measurand, and desired output is called as measured value, right? Is everyone okay with it? I would like to hear from you. I have unmuted everyone. Is everyone okay? Just give me answer in the chat. Is it okay? Is it okay? Yes, I'm getting some answers in the chat. Yes, thank you so much. So what we will do, we will just finish with today's topic. Just give me a second. Yeah, I have explained you this thing. Now, the next time when we will come, we will go for measurement, errors in measurement, environmental. There are various errors in measurement. One is instrument error, second is environmental, third is observational, operational, translation and signal transmission, system interaction, random error. This is the classification that I have got from one of the book. Some books have got only 3 types. Those 3 types will cover all the types, but this is this is more of a basic classification. So I'll try to explain you this thing when next time when we will come for the lecture. I will like to listen from you. If you have any question, just ask me right now. If you have any question to ask me right now. Yes? Anything to ask? If you don't have anything to ask, let me just
Sir,
know.
sir, hello.
Yes, yes. What's your name?
Anas,
Bolo Anas, bolo.
Anas